Gashi's Cayman TV, the tallest man in Black Africa, welcomes you to our today's show. And if you're here for the first time, feel free to comment, and for our viewers, kindly like this video. For our supporters, our number will be there. When historians will be writing the history of this country, one thing will be very clear to all, that William Samoei Ruto will be the most unpopular president that has ever ruled this country. Unless he do something that is drastic, that is going to change the lives of Kenyans, this man will be judged with the number of promises, the kind of promises that he made to the nation, most of which will never be fulfilled. Most of them that will remain hot air and campaign gimmicks. Why am I saying this? First of all, those of you who follow the politics of this country, yesterday, Kenya Kwanza met at State House. And the meeting venue, if you don't know in politics, is very, very important. Where people are meeting is very, very important. So State House symbolizes power, symbolizes authority, symbolizes a man who is in charge, a man who is not ready to reason, because ni kama ukienda kwa kumtembelea mtu vile ambavyo anasema kwake, huwezi ukampiga, huwezi ukakataa vile ambavyo anasema. Kwa hivyo the first thing that came out of this meeting is that homeowners must pay tax. People will start paying taxes. So if you own a home, the thinking of the reasoning is that you are served by the government and you have roads connect to your home and the towns and other cities, which is very, very unfair, because people are paying land rates. But why should you pay a home ownership tax? It is a government that is trying to get money using anything possible. The other thing that came out of that meeting is that the employees would have to pay 6% more of, I think 6% of their salaries. Those who pays National Social Security Fund. It is different from NHIF. Remember, they are paying NHIF. Remember, they are being taxed as pay as you earn, which I call pay as you suffer. And now, they have also been paying a tax in form of NSSF. But now, it will be 6% of, I don't know whether net or gross income, which to me is very, very unfair. Because ni kama kuongeza kidoda, pigia msumari juu ya kidoda na kuweka moto. This is a very uncaring government. This is a government that is going to do anything to get money. Na jambo moja ambalo watu wanafaa kujua ni kwamba hizi pesa is a kind of saving, but you cannot access this money until you are age 60. So the question that arises, how is this money? Another thing that Kenya needs to know is that banks have increased their interest rates. Now they are hitting 14.3, some 15%. 14.5 to 15%. Na hili ni jambo ambalo linashangaza, because what the government is doing is to borrow from local banks. And once they borrow, banks want to make interest. So, and what is happening is that during Kibaki's time, Kibaki did not borrow from the banks. That is why the banks opened their doors to ordinary citizens. And that is why you see banks coming to the villages, knocking the doors, asking you whether you want loans. This is what used to happen during Kibaki's time. Lakini sasa ukiangalia utaona kwamba maisha yanazidi kuwa magumu. Wakati ambapo Uhuru alikuwa pale, hatukuwa tunaona hivi. At least was able to ensure stability in the financial sector. The other thing that the Kenyans are experiencing is a sort of a quote-unquote poor leadership is inflation. The shilling is depreciating day by day. In fact, it has been depreciating every day. And if you ask me, I'll tell you that things can only be more expensive for those of us who depend on imports, because Kenya depends on imports, including food commodities, including milk, including coffee, which we also grow in our country, including tea, which we also grow in our country. Then we import the same as a processed product. You can only expect to buy more. The price of fat will always increase. the price of fuel will also going to increase. It's just a matter of time, 2 weeks time, the price of petrol will hit almost 200 shillings because of this inflation. Kwa sababu serikali ni serikali ambayo haiko tayari kuongoza. Ni serikali ambayo kila wakati unapata katika kampeni tunaipata ikijaribu kulaumu Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Amolo Odinga, and they are saying that it is Raila who destroyed this country within 4 years. And what we know is that William Samoei Ruto has been part and parcel of this government. In fact, being the virtue of the fact that he was a deputy president is something that Kenyans need to know. The other thing is that this is a government that doesn't care about the poor. This is a government that doesn't blink the eye when giving another promise. So expect a number of promises, even before the ones that have been promised are fulfilled. Expect every day we are hearing a promise. You are going to do this, you are going to do this. And more so now that the cabinet will hit the ground. Somebody will why the mashinani. This is just a gimmick because the cabinet itself is very, very incompetent. As you know, as you could see that these are men and women who cannot be trusted to achieve much. These are men and women who are very, very incompetent. In fact, or just one person who comes out exceptionally good, that is Kizuke Kediri, whatever you call him. It has been a confusing name. But I'm talking about the CS Interior. Is somebody who is likely to deliver. Because, for one, this man is incorruptible. He's a straight guy. He's a gentleman compared to people like Moses Korea, who are known to be intoxicated whenever they are speaking to the public. So what we are saying is that Ruto will be very, very unpopular because I don't expect even this cabinet to deliver much. The other thing is that even in developed countries, there are subsidies. This government does not care about the poor. There are no subsidies. You remove the subsidies. Nothing is happening. Where did this money go? The money that was subsidizing fuel, the money that was subsidizing food commodities. I think the government doesn't know that, doesn't care about the common mwananchi. It's likely to be very, very unpopular. Kwa hivyo hivi ndivyo ambavyo mambo yalivyo, kwa sababu ukitazama utaona kwamba William Samoei wakati aliingia pale alisahau ya kwamba he was taking a country that was stable. Let's agree the country was stable. And already Muigai Kenyatta had dealt very well with the COVID. And it's one thing that I always remember Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta dealing with the COVID, and he did it so well, and he won the battle and the war. He also dealt very well and very firmly with Al-Shabaab. He secured this country. So William Samoei Ruto cannot claim to be in a crisis like Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was leading this country during the time of turmoil. But William Samoei Ruto is coming at a time when everything has been something has been put in the right places. Again, you remember this drought. You see the country is suffering, and never have we ever seen people from Mount Kenya relying on donations, because this is what is happening. Tunaona watu wakiomba chakula kule Katodo, tumeona Nyeri, tumeona watu wanalia Kiambu. Ni jambo linashagaza watu wengi sana, sababu hata fertilizer so Wamatagi receiving fertilizer, and ask myself, do we have plantations in Kiambu? Do we have people growing maize? Because you see they are supposed to deal with the maize. Why are you not giving the people from Kitale? Why not giving people who are growing maize in Eldoret? Why in Kiambu? So this encouraging of the nation is something that is going to hurt this country. It is going to hurt the national integration. It is going to work against our national unity, and things can only be very, very difficult. The other thing that I think we need to be careful about is the dominance of these two tribes. I was looking at the committee of the National Assembly and Parliament, both Senate and National Assembly. Katia, I think 22 committees, 15 of them are dominated by the Kikuyus, are led by the Kikuyus. And this one is very funny because it is like William Samoei Ruto is at the hostage of the Kikuyus. It's like they are not giving him time to relax. which is, in my view, is not the right thing, because he is there to please them. We can see a president who cannot make good decisions, because whatever he do, lazima angalie Wakikuyu wasije wakasi, because the grapevine is that kuna hali ya kutoelewana sasa. He is giving this committee to lead. So that's why I'm saying, in the fullness of time, William Samoei Ruto will be the most unpopular president, I think. I will not say the planet Earth, but I will say in East and Central Africa, or in Africa south of Sahara. So yesterday, so on another note, there were rumors that there was a volcanic eruption in Mount Longonot. I don't know, those of you who live around Mount Longonot, especially around my Mayu areas, I don't know how true it is this, because I doubt whether it was eruption, because if it was volcanic eruption, the whole world would be knowing. So currently, I'm taking it to be